Cody thought he was signing papers to protect Robyn's daughter. He had no idea he was handing over the very land his family once dreamed of building on. Now that same daughter is suing him, and the fallout is tearing what's left of the Brown family apart. Secrets, regrets, and the betrayal no one saw coming. You won't believe who finally speaks up and who stays silent. Watch now and see how everything unraveled. Sometimes, a family's undoing doesn't come with a scream. It starts with a quiet signature. Cody Brown thought he was protecting one of his kids, just doing what any father would do. A signature here, a nod of trust there. But years later, that same signature would show up in court, with his name on the wrong side of the lawsuit. And it wasn't one of his ex-wives who filed it. It was Aurora, Robyn's daughter. There's a stillness that comes right before everything breaks. And when it did, when that paperwork hit the kitchen counter, it wasn't just a legal mess. It was the unraveling of decades of loyalty, sacrifice, and silence. Have you ever trusted someone so much? You didn't read the fine print? That's what happened here. But this wasn't just about legal forms or property lines. This was about family who counts, who gets left behind, and who was planning all along to walk away with the house keys. It all started quietly. Cody holding a court envelope with trembling hands. The name on the lawsuit? His own daughter. The one he thought he protected. The one Robyn had sworn needed his help. What happened next? Wasn't just betrayal, it was strategy. See, back in 2020, Robyn had gently urged him to just sign. She said it was to protect Aurora's future. Said it was symbolic. That's what love looks like, right? Taking care of each other's kids as your own? Only it wasn't symbolic. The property deed named Aurora sole beneficiary. And now Robyn's team was claiming damages, accusing Cody of mismanaging the very land he once dreamed of building a family legacy on. And that's when everything came tumbling down. This wasn't just a mistake. It was a plan Cody never saw coming. When the news hit the public, Mary and Janelle didn't hold back. Christine rallied legal support. Even TLC couldn't look away anymore. And slowly the voices that had been quiet for so long started to speak. Online fans exploded. The comments weren't just angry. They were heartbroken. How could Robyn, how dare she, use her daughter to tear apart what was left of the family? And maybe the most unsettling part? Aurora herself seemed conflicted. Her soft statement through a lawyer said she had no ill will, but needed to secure her future. Her voice shook, but the papers were already signed. The lawsuit already filed. It's the kind of story that makes you sit back and ask, how did we get here? How did the man who built a polygamist empire end up sitting alone on a patch of land in Flagstaff, watching the wind whip through the dust of what could have been? And how did the woman he once defended above all others become the one who brought him down? We've seen reality TV conflict before. But this is family fallout. Legal battles, emotional implosions, and heartbreak, told not just in confessional interviews, but in courtrooms, court filings, and viral TikToks from the Brown children themselves. Christine, Janelle, Mary. Even the kids like Isabel, Gwendolyn, Hunter, Gabe, all have something to say. Some are angry, some are sad, but none are silent anymore. And Cody, he's finally owning up to the damage. In a final sit-down, stripped of pride, stripped of certainty, he says something that stayed with me. I thought love meant sacrifice. Then I thought it meant obedience. Now I think it means knowing when you're being used, and getting out before it costs you everything. If you've ever watched someone you love turn into a stranger, you'll understand this story. And if you've ever tried to protect your family, only to realize you were the one being played, you'll feel every word of this. Robyn's breakdown. Aurora's regret. Cody's slow unraveling. The ex-wives' united front. TLC's final reckoning. And the kids, who've seen it all, finally saying enough is enough. This isn't just another Sister Wives recap. This is a portrait of a crumbling empire, and the people who tried to survive it. And believe me, you do not want to miss what we uncovered. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join us at Sister Wives Daily Scoop. We dive deep, not just into what's on camera, but what's being whispered behind the scenes. Because some family stories are just too big, too complicated, and too real to be told in 60 minutes of TV. Let's talk about what really happened, starting now. The news hit Cody like a punch to the gut. The long late-day shadows stretched across his empty porch as the sun dipped behind the hills of Flagstaff. The noise of daily life, once full of kids, chatter and chaos, had long since faded. What was left was quiet. But for Cody Brown, quiet no longer meant peace. Not anymore. What used to be a bustling collection of homes and hearts had fallen apart. The plural family that once surrounded him was now scattered, reduced to fragments and tension. Some parts of it still lingered: grief, guilt, and now something more concrete: a bundle of legal documents sitting heavy in his hands. A betrayal this deep wasn't just emotional, it came with paperwork. He stared at the court papers Aurora had sent to her lawyer. His chest tightened, not with fear, not yet, but with disbelief. How could it have come to this? Right there in black and white. A formal lawsuit. Aurora Sullivan, Robyn's daughter and now a legal adult, was named the plaintiff. Cody Brown, the defendant. The dispute? A property in Flagstaff that Aurora claimed full ownership of. It felt surreal. Cody's memory jumped back to 2020. He could still hear Robyn's voice, pleading gently with him about the land. "It's just a formality," she'd said. "You're her dad now, remember? Just sign it to protect her future." He believed her. Of course he had. He loved her, trusted her. He hadn't even read the papers before signing. It had felt like a show of commitment at the time. Now it felt like a trapdoor had opened beneath his feet. The land was supposed to secure their family's future, not bury it. He scanned the documents again, his forehead furrowing deeper with every line. Back then, before they even split the land, the property had been purchased using money from the shared Coyote Pass Fund. That fund, worth over $450,000, belonged to the entire family. But this lawsuit revealed something Cody hadn't seen coming. Robyn had designated Aurora, and only Aurora, as the sole beneficiary of the property title. Cody's signature hadn't transferred ownership. It had simply handed over legal oversight. And now, with a legal team behind her, Aurora was suing Cody for mismanaging the property and causing damage. This wasn't some small misunderstanding. This wasn't a broken promise whispered in a hallway. This felt planned, cold, calculated. This wasn't just about land. It was about power. He dropped the paperwork on the kitchen counter and stumbled backward, stunned. The house echoed with silence. His voice cracked as he asked the question out loud. "What did you do to me, Robyn?" It didn't take long for word to spread. The lawsuit made its way online, and soon reactions started pouring in. Mary and Janelle, his former wives, didn't hold back. Despite choosing her words carefully during an Instagram live, Mary's pain was written all over her face. "Sometimes," she said, "you watch someone build their whole world on a lie, and you just hope they're the only ones who get hurt by it. But what happens when that lie starts hurting other people too?" Janelle, always a little more direct, spoke her mind in a TLC sit-down interview. "Robyn's been playing chess while the rest of us were playing house," she said with a tight smile. Then, pausing, she added, "It's kind of poetic, isn't it? Cody ignored the rest of us for her. And now her daughter is the one taking him to court." The man who once demanded loyalty was now left questioning who he could trust. And Cody, he didn't take it well. Fueled by hurt and disbelief, he stormed up to Robyn, voice shaking with rage. "You used me," he said. "You said it was for Aurora's safety. You never told me I'd be responsible for this, or that everything would go straight to her." Robyn, red-eyed and tear-streaked, threw her hands up defensively. "You said you wanted to protect her like your own," she cried. "I thought you meant it." But in that moment, Cody wasn't hearing any of it. The man who had once believed he was building something lasting, something sacred, was now realizing the foundation had shifted beneath him a long time ago. "I did what any mother would do," Robyn said sharply, her voice cracking. "Don't blame me. She's your daughter too." But Cody wasn't having it. His face twisted in disbelief. "Don't make this seem noble," he snapped. "You tricked me. This whole thing, this mess, you planned it." It was no longer just an argument. It had turned into a storm. Accusations flew like glass in a hurricane. Robyn claimed Cody was obsessed with control. Cody fired back, accusing Robyn of scheming from the beginning, setting up a long con to funnel wealth to her biological kids while pushing the others aside. This wasn't a fight over land anymore. It was about betrayal, years in the making. According to insiders, the fight got so intense that TLC producers actually stopped rolling cameras. But even with filming paused, the boom mic kept picking up audio. And what it caught, well, it shook the production team. "I never would have signed those papers," Cody was heard saying bitterly. "If I'd known you'd turn Aurora into a weapon against me, if I'd known you were going to do this, I would have seen the truth. You never protected anyone but yourself." That line echoed beyond the walls of their home. It spilled into social media, headlines, and message boards. And soon after, Aurora responded. Her lawyer released a statement on her behalf. Simple, direct, and almost emotionless. "This legal action is not about hurt feelings. It's about securing my future. I was promised something, and I'm asking for what's rightfully mine. I love my family, but doing the right thing sometimes means standing alone." But fans weren't buying it, and they weren't shy about saying so. The backlash came hard and fast. Many accused Robyn of using her daughter as a human shield, of hiding behind Aurora to push a financial agenda. Even longtime viewers, who had once sympathized with her, began calling her manipulative. Christine's daughter Isabel weighed in too. She posted a video on TikTok that quickly went viral. "We all gave up something for the family dream," she said. But looking back, only one household ever truly had that dream. The words stung, not just because they were public, but because they were true. Cody, once defiant and sure of his choices, now looked hollow. In a rare raw moment captured during a post-episode interview, he sat slouched in a chair, eyes ringed with exhaustion, stubble on his chin. "I don't even know who I am anymore," he confessed quietly. "I thought I was building something that would last, a legacy. But it turns out, I built it on sand." His voice wavered. "Robyn was supposed to be my home, my safe place. Now she's handing me over to the wolves." He dropped his head into his hands. "I gave up everything for her. My wives, my kids. And now, her daughter is suing me. If there's a crueler irony than that, I haven't found it." What started as loyalty ended in loneliness. And Cody knew it. As the lawsuit played out publicly, TLC decided to hit pause. All ongoing Brown family projects were suspended. The network wasn't willing to wade into legal murk, especially with the possibility of Cody being held financially liable for property mismanagement. Behind the scenes, Robyn's quiet grip on the family had slipped. And now, for the first time, she was truly isolated. Her reputation, in tatters. Meanwhile, Janelle and Christine had turned the page. They announced a new joint memoir titled Escape the Brown Illusion: Legal Battles, Lies and Love. It was bold, unapologetic, and clearly timed. In the final scene of the season, Cody was shown sitting alone at Coyote Pass. Just him, the dry wind, and the dust of what once was a dream. There was no drama, no monologue, no dramatic music. Just a man, alone with the fallout of his own decisions. Back at the house once known as Robyn's refuge, the silence was even louder. The home that once buzzed with pride had become a museum of regret. Family dinners stopped. Holidays weren't discussed. Robyn drifted through the halls like a ghost trapped in her own story. Days went by where she didn't leave her bedroom. Her phone rang non-stop. Lawyers, reporters, even concerned fans and extended relatives. Everyone wanted answers. But Robyn had none to give. The woman once known for teary-eyed pleas and self-victimizing charm now looked blank. Her eyes no longer held the same manipulative gloss. Even her reflection didn't offer comfort anymore. And her children were starting to notice. After reading hundreds of comments online accusing Robyn of orchestrating the family's collapse, Brianna couldn't take it any longer. She came to her mother with a hard question. "Mom, is it true? Did you use Aurora to steal Dad's money?" Robyn didn't answer right away. She just stood there, frozen. Robyn reached for Brianna's hand, her voice soft. "I was just trying to protect her, sweetheart. That's all I've ever tried to do." But Brianna pulled her hand back. Her eyes filled with uncertainty, maybe even betrayal. "You said the same thing when you married Dad," she whispered. And just like that, The carefully constructed loyalty in Robyn's own home started to unravel. Across the state, Christine was furious. She didn't wait a day. She immediately got Mary and Janelle on a Zoom call. Hair pulled back tight, face red with frustration. She was done holding back. "I've had enough of Robyn rewriting history," Christine snapped. "She forced me out, pushed Cody into choosing her over the rest of us. And now she wants to take the little bit we all worked for." "Absolutely not." Janelle gave a knowing, tired nod. "I saw it the day she cried in the driveway, saying she didn't want this." She sighed. She wanted every single inch of it. Christine wasted no time. She contacted a civil litigation attorney and prepared a cease and desist letter demanding a financial audit of all funds withdrawn from the Coyote Pass escrow account. Money Robyn allegedly diverted before filing her daughter's claim. This wasn't just about property anymore. It was about deception and justice. According to the documents Christine's lawyer uncovered, Robyn had used shared family funds to secure private property titles solely for her biological kids. She had reportedly misled the other wives during family planning sessions, giving the impression it was all for everyone's future. But Christine's next move shocked even her closest allies. She agreed to testify on behalf of Cody. "He may be a narcissist," she told the press, "but I'll be damned if Robyn gets to destroy what's left and walk off with the insurance money." Meanwhile, TLC couldn't keep hiding behind closed doors. Advertisers were backing away. Fans were outraged. Sponsors warned that if Cody and Robyn weren't held publicly accountable, they'd pull out completely. In a rare public announcement, TLC said, "We're reassessing our production plans and closely examining the Brown family's legal challenges. We remain committed to transparency and respect for the family and the viewers." But behind that polite language, TLC was quietly planning a dramatic finale, unlike anything they'd ever done. It would be called The Last Confession, a two-part reunion special. Each wife, including Mary, Janelle, Christine, and even Aurora, would get a private sit-down. No interference from producers. No cozy editing. Cody and Robyn would be filmed separately. And then at the very end they'd all come together for one final unfiltered confrontation. The promo tagline was haunting: "What began as a family, ends as a reckoning." And just as TLC pulled back the curtain, so did the Brown kids. Hunter, Madison, and Gwendolyn lit up Instagram stories with raw, emotional posts. They blasted Robyn for manipulating Cody and turning the legal system into a weapon. Gabe, still grieving the loss of Garrison, posted just one heartbreaking line: "You said you loved us like your own. What happened?" But it was Aurora's post that truly rattled the internet. In a dimly lit TikTok, her voice barely above a whisper, she said, "This isn't how I thought it would go. I was told this would help secure something promised to me. But I'm starting to think none of it was real." She disabled the comments. But in 48 hours, her video had racked up over 8 million views. The story had officially moved beyond the show. It was now a national conversation. Back on Coyote Pass, Cody sat alone again on the rocky overlook, where he once imagined a legacy. His boots tapped the dry ground. He hadn't slept in days. Tired and gray, he turned to the TLC crew one last time. "I don't even know what love means anymore," he said softly. "I used to think it was sacrifice. Then I thought maybe it was loyalty. Now, maybe it's knowing when someone's using you, and having the strength to walk away before you lose everything." He reached into his coat and pulled out a folded letter. It was from Aurora. "I still love you," it read, "but I have to protect myself now. I'm sorry." It was short, but it said everything. And as the final reunion approached, everything felt heavier, like the end of something that used to matter. When the cameras rolled in TLC's reunion studio, it didn't look like past years. The set was darker. The furniture was spaced far apart. There was no cheering audience. No energy cue from producers. Just dim lighting. One camera crew and security guards quietly standing near the exits. There would be no hugs, no platitudes, no pretending. This wasn't a celebration of family. This was the autopsy of a family torn apart. The title of the special was Sister Wives, The Last Disclosure. This wasn't your usual reunion filled with playful jabs and polite denials. Each cast member would speak alone, uninterrupted. No cross-talk, no distractions, just one voice at a time. Raw, emotional, and unfiltered. Mary was the first to sit on the couch. Her body was tense, almost frozen. That usual nervous smile, gone. She didn't need it anymore. Her voice was calm but cold, like someone who's been burned too many times to flinch. "Do you know what I regret?" she asked, locking eyes with the camera. "I regret allowing myself to feel invisible, to beg for scraps of attention." She didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Robyn cried first. So I stepped back. Then Janelle did. Then Christine. And now Cody's sobbing because the house he built out of Robyn's tears is on fire. She opened her handbag and pulled out a letter. It was from Cody, dated back to 2019. In it, he told her he only wanted a spiritual relationship moving forward. "You were done with me long before I had the courage to say it out loud," she whispered. And then the screen cut to black. No ads, no music, just silence. Next came Christine, and she brought receipts. She walked on set holding a fat manila folder. Inside, court filings, financial statements, screenshots from group texts. She didn't come to vent. She came to expose. "We were promised things would be equal," she said. "Same pay from TLC, shared property taxes, joint decisions." She flipped open a document. Then Robyn started asking for more. Said she needed it for medical bills, college savings, mortgage insurance. We trusted her. Then Christine slammed the folder down on the coffee table. "She used our kids as stepping stones for that mansion. And now she's got the man she bled us dry for being sued by her own daughter." She paused, voice trembling but strong. "Even with all the things Cody's done to us, this is another level." Earlier that same day, Christine's attorney officially filed a multi-party civil claim, co-signed by Mary and Janelle, to recover what they claimed was misappropriated family money. The betrayal wasn't just emotional anymore. Now, it had paperwork. Then it was Aurora's turn. The room went quiet when she walked in. No smiles, no flash. She looked exhausted, like someone who had cried herself to sleep one too many nights. She sat down gently, holding a printed email from 2021. "My mom said this was just paperwork, that it would keep me safe. I didn't know it would hurt everyone else." Her voice cracked. "I don't hate Cody. He tried. He made mistakes. A lot of them. But if I'd known what was really going on, I don't think I would have filed anything. I think she used me to protect something she was scared to lose." And just like that, she got up and walked off the set. The camera lingered for 5 long seconds on the empty seat she left behind. You could feel millions of hearts breaking in real time. Then came Robyn. Makeup perfect. Posture rigid. She looked like a woman still hoping she could spin dust into gold. But the moment she saw the pile of papers on the coffee table, Christine's folder, Mary's letter, Aurora's email, her mask cracked. "This isn't fair," she said softly. "I was just trying to hold the family together." The host leaned forward and asked directly, "Did you knowingly purchase the Flagstaff house in Aurora's name, understanding it could leave Cody legally vulnerable?" Robyn blinked, stunned. "Yes, I asked him to sign, but he knew what it meant. He wanted to protect her." The host pulled out Cody's latest court statement. "I didn't know Aurora would have sole ownership. I trusted Robyn. I didn't read the fine print." Robyn's voice went up an octave. "He's lying," she shouted. "They're all lying. They've hated me since the beginning. This isn't about property. This is about revenge." She burst into tears. But no one clapped. No one comforted her. No crew member stepped in. The redemption arc was officially over. All that remained was a very public silence. Robyn stormed off set. Even the producers stayed quiet. And then, Cody took the stage. Cody came in last. His hands trembled slightly, age finally catching up with the man who once claimed he could carry an entire family on his back. He looked straight into the lens. "I made bad decisions," he said, not trying to hide the tremor in his voice. "I put my trust in the wrong person. I turned away from the women who helped build this life. Christine, Janelle, Mary. And in chasing something that was never real, I lost my children." With slow, deliberate fingers, Cody removed his wedding band and set it gently on the table. "I used to believe love could justify anything," he whispered. "Now I know, it can destroy everything." His final words barely reached a murmur. "I'm sorry." That wasn't a confession. That was a funeral. Just days after the last disclosure aired, news broke that the property dispute between Cody and Aurora had been quietly resolved out of court. No details were made public, but sources confirmed the outcome. Cody relinquished all rights to the Flagstaff home, and in exchange, Robyn gave up her claims to Coyote Pass and any future TLC profits. But the storm was far from over. Christine, Mary, and Janelle pushed forward with their civil suit. TLC even provided documentation and footage to support them. And just like that, the show's center collapsed. Robyn's reputation tanked almost overnight. Brand deals disappeared. Fan pages flipped into call-out accounts. Her own children distanced themselves from the legal fallout. In a low-key statement, TLC confirmed what fans already suspected: Sister Wives would not return for another season. The series didn't end with a wedding or family reunion. It ended with a sweeping shot of Coyote Pass, dust curling in the wind, empty and unfinished. No closure, just consequence. But Christine and Janelle weren't done yet. Just weeks after the series finale, bookstores across the country began displaying a slim, hardbound book titled Unraveled: The Internal Disintegration of Sister Wives, authored by Christine and Janelle Brown, with forewords by Madison and Gwendolyn. It pulled no punches. The cover? A cracked polygamist wedding ring lying in the dirt of Coyote Pass. The press tour that followed wasn't just promotion, it was reckoning. At every stop, the women peeled back the curtain. Christine told Good Morning America. Robyn always cried on cue. But behind the scenes, she was adjusting finances, guiding real estate deals, pulling every string. And Cody? He let her. Janelle nodded. He didn't just let her, he helped. He didn't care who paid, as long as he felt loved. Even our kids weren't off limits. Truth wasn't just spoken, it was broadcast. Mary, once the quiet one, finally found her voice. She announced her own book deal and reopened her bed and breakfast, not as a retreat, but as a refuge for women escaping religious trauma and emotional abuse. But the real shock came during a live stream, with over 500,000 viewers. Mary revealed she had officially joined the civil lawsuit against Cody and Robyn. I stayed silent because I thought that was loyalty, she said. But loyalty without truth is just another kind of prison. And Robyn? She vanished. Her Instagram was locked. Conservative speaking engagements cancelled. Rumors swirled. Debt, distance from her children. Brianna reportedly moved in with a cousin in Utah. Solomon and Ariella were homeschooled in total privacy. Then came the leak. A user on Reddit posted a thread of 20 pages. Emails allegedly from a former legal assistant Robyn had used during the Aurora case. TLC confirmed they were authentic. Among the emails leaked online were a few that hit like a gut punch. One message showed Robyn coaching Aurora on how to emotionally frame her legal statement. Another revealed something even more chilling. Months before the land was transferred, Robyn had already consulted lawyers behind Cody's back. But the most jaw-dropping line of all: Cody doesn't need to know everything. He trusts me. He's more cooperative when he thinks he's in control. That one line shattered the last of the illusions. The internet exploded, and Cody? He was blindsided. After being turned down by the bigger media platforms, Cody sat down for an unfiltered interview with a small independent journalist. "You all think I was the mastermind? No, I was the fool," Cody said, visibly rattled. "I gave her the login info. I thought we were building a legacy. Turns out, I was just funding her kingdom." But Cody wasn't done. Just days later, he posted a public Dropbox link filled with personal receipts, handwritten notes, old voice memos, and even an audio clip of Robyn mocking Christine's back pain in 2018. One note? A message Christine had taped to the fridge back in 2019. "I'm done asking to be heard." The tide of public opinion flipped almost overnight. Suddenly, Robyn's tearful narrative didn't look so innocent. Viewers who had once pitied her now saw manipulation in her every move. Many were especially disturbed by how she pushed Cody to distance himself from the other women, the very women who had helped raise all their kids. That's when the Brown children started speaking up. In a heartbreaking YouTube vlog, Isabel said, "After my surgery, my dad didn't call or visit for 9 months. But somehow he had time to help Robyn's daughter file a lawsuit. What does that say? Gabe, still mourning Garrison, shared a voicemail Cody left him, begging him not to turn the other kids against Robyn. Gwendolyn, blunt as ever on TikTok, added, Robyn used her tears like armor. Every time Dad handed her a trophy for it. I'm just glad people finally see it. Even Aurora, overwhelmed by the backlash, posted on Instagram, I never wanted to hurt anyone. I didn't understand what I was doing. I'm sorry. She deleted her account just hours later. But the courtroom was where the real reckoning began. With thousands of pages of documents, the civil case moved quickly. Christine's testimony struck a chord, detailing how Robyn and Cody had quietly carved out a financial empire using shared funds, all while isolating the others. Janelle broke down, describing how she moved her retirement into the Flagstaff relocation, only to find she didn't legally own an inch of it. And Mary, known for being the quiet one, she told the court, Robyn once looked me in the eye and said, if you don't adapt, you'll be left behind. Well, I didn't adapt. She just locked us all out and rewrote the rules. And now, the public wanted justice. Over 1 million people joined the Sister Wives subreddit. Podcast hosts dissected court transcripts line by line. Netflix entered a bidding war for the docuseries rights. While the official verdict was still pending, public opinion had spoken. Robyn used Cody, Cody let her, and the original wives deserved restitution. Then came the announcement. TLC revealed a brand new limited docuseries, Escaping the Dream Life After Sister Wives. It would include never-before-seen court footage, behind-the-scenes family clips, and unfiltered interviews the producers weren't allowed to air before. This wasn't just drama. It was history being rewritten in real time. And that's where we leave it, for now. Be sure to hit subscribe here on Sister Wives Daily Scoop, so you don't miss what's coming next. More updates, more truth, and more from the voices that were once silenced. Thanks for sticking with us.